in his own safe, environment, like, what he does, what he's probably the best at, what many consider him like the best comedian. He can't even, the best comedian can't say like an actual joke.
Rain quietly releasing a new special last night, focusing on his recent speech at his former high school in Washington, D.C., Duke Ellington School of the Arts.
Yeah, so Dave's appearance at the school was meant to be for a theater that was supposed to be named after him, but Dave turned that down after his long-running
He was going to have a theater named after him? God damn, Dave Chappelle, go crazy.
Controversy over his transphobic jokes in his 2021 Netflix special, The Closer. Dave announced the theater would instead be called the Theater for Artistic Freedom and Expression.
And as
I like that. I do like that. He kind of like put his ego aside and said, nah. That's kind of wild, man. Y'all dick sucking for real. Nah. We can't do that.
seen in the new 40-minute special, Dave reflects on his time at the art school, pays tribute to past teachers, and addresses the unimpressed students he faced amid his backlash while telling them why he feels it's unfair to criticize him.
And the last time I came back, after The Closer, when the kids were mad at
I think everybody should watch that, by the way, that Netflix special. That was the first time I seen comedy as an art form. And when I say that, I mean, I always liked comedy. I always like respected it as a craft, but I never seen it as like art, like in the sense of like an artsy type of thing, like music or like, painting. But man, that's an art, man.
me. I gotta tell you, that was quite the day. All the kids were screaming and yelling. I remember I said to the kids, I go, well, what do you guys think I did wrong? And a line formed. These kids said everything about gender and this and that and the other.
A line formed. The way he says it, in a line formed. I like the way his speech is kind of funny, man.
But they didn't say anything about art. And this is my biggest gripe with this whole controversy with The Closer, that you cannot report on an artist's work and remove artistic nuance.
That's what I was, okay, so I have a video coming out. I don't know when I'm gonna release it. It's called, Can the White People Say the N-Word? And it's about, it's this guy named AD from No Jumper. He was arguing with Danny Mullen. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's a YouTuber. And I said, hey, he said that up in I said Danny Mullen, the white guy. He's a white guy. He's a white comedian. He was making like a skit, like a video skit or whatever. And he said the N-word up in the skit. I said, hey, me personally, I have no problem with that because it was a part of his art form, his comedy. And he didn't, in the way he said it, it was not offensive. Like, it wasn't like some type of, it wasn't like he called somebody that, you know what I mean? You got to see what I'm talking about. Just look it up if you guys are really that interested in it. But that's what I was saying. And that's real. I'm glad he brought that up. That's all I was saying up in that video, is that you cannot get rid of the art form.
From his words. It would be like if you were reading a newspaper and they say, man shot in the face by a 6-foot rabbit, expected to survive. You'd be like, oh my God. And they never tell you it's a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Okay, I get it. That was actually fire. That was a fire comparison. Not gonna lie to you. Okay, let's keep going.
I took a lot of cold shots in show business. And I gotta tell you, as the years go on, you feel the shots less and less as just the business, is what you say. But that one, that day, boy, that day they hurt me. When I heard those talking points.
That's so sad, man, because that was such an amazing special. That was so amazing, man.
Coming out of these children's faces that really, sincerely hurt me. The more you say I can't say something, the more urgent it is for me to say it. And it has nothing to do with what you're saying I can't say. It has everything to do with my right, my freedom.
That reminds me of somebody. Oh, what's his name? Jordan Peterson, I think, right? It wasn't a problem with the trans people or anything like that. It was the fact that you said that he can't, that he had to say something actually with Jordan Peterson, but with him is that he can't say it. And he can't even say it up in his own art form. In his own safe, environment, what he does, what he's probably the best at, many consider him like the best comedian. He can't even, the best comedian can't say like an actual joke about a specific group of people. Come on, man. That's man. When I'm telling you, because when I seen that special, man, that special just, it personified to me, or it exemplified what I love about just this earth in general, just this world. everything about this. I just love it. I love art. Me personally, I love art. I'm an arts guy. You know, so I don't know.
Of artistic expression that is valuable to me, that is not separate from me. It's worth protecting for me, and it's worth protecting for everyone else who endeavors in our noble.
Facts. That's all I was. Man, I'm so glad. See, this is why he will always have my respect, man. Dave Chappelle, he really cool with me. I didn't know him too much when I was younger. I seen like the Chappelle show a couple of times, but I really got into him like 2 years ago when I first seen his first Netflix special, Sticks and Stones, I think. Man, he's been good ever since for me, man.
Noble professions.
So when The Closer came out, I think you and I actually talked about it. We have pretty
I'm gonna see what they say about it. Actually, I was just gonna watch Dave Chappelle part, except I'm gonna see what they say.
similar opinion of what happened, or not what happened, of what that special was like. Right?
Yeah, and listen, I got a lot of backlash, and I'm going to be honest again, and I'll probably get backlash again. It's unfortunate because I am allowed to have my own opinion about this. And listen, I love Dave Chappelle. I will watch the special and just laugh so hard. But I felt that his comments towards, the LGBTQ plus community, I actually didn't feel like he was trying to be funny at all. I felt like he was giving his opinion. And
What? That special was hilarious. While also giving his opinion. I thought it was like amazing actually, like how he incorporated both. That's all really comedy is giving your opinion up in a funny way. For the most part, at least. Some people do like other different type of stuff, except for the most part, especially his. The whole Chappelle show is about him giving his opinions on societal problems and making a joke about it. So what are you saying? He always does that. That's him. And that's why I like him. Because it's funny. He says it up in like a meaningful way, but like most importantly, funny, which I love. I think if a comedian is funny while also saying some real stuff, I think probably it's even better than like a politician, honestly, or like some type of speaking or a public speaker, because they can probably transfer it better,
I don't think anyone is telling him you cannot speak your opinion, but there was this kind of lack of realization that as a public figure, as someone who's beloved by everyone all over the world, it felt quite insensitive. So to be really quite honest,
Insensitive? Really? Insensitive. If it felt kind of insensitive for him to do that. A lot of stuff is insensitive. You just said, I don't think anybody is trying to tell him not to say anything, but that was a bit insensitive. So basically what you're saying is he shouldn't have said that because, people won't like it. What are you saying? People people will literally say, I'm not saying that you should do this, but I am saying that you should do it. But they don't even know that they're saying that. Like, that's what you just said. Like, you literally just contradicted yourself up in the same exact sentence. This is what I don't like about people in general. That's crazy.
Honest with you, to even hear this, he's being honest, it hurt his feelings,
Sure,
you can imagine, but maybe instead of thinking about like, don't tell me what I can't say, because I don't really know if anyone's saying that. I think really people were just saying,
What? Really? And this is another thing. This has nothing to do with parties or anything like that, like no type of Democrat, Republican thing. This is my only problem with people in general. You don't know what people are saying because you don't see it. Apparently. Because it was a bunch of people saying that. Come on, man.
what you said hurt a lot of people who adore you. I think maybe listen to a community that maybe you either don't understand or maybe don't agree with, and just kind of recognize that you hurt people's feelings.
Yeah, I think it is interesting that he mentions here about like
You're gonna hurt people's feelings when you do comedy, but you're gonna also make people laugh. That's the point of it.
like the nuance of a performance, or the nuance of a stand-up,
Yeah.
or nuance.
When you say anything, you're gonna hurt people's feelings. Most likely, anything with substance up in it, you're gonna hurt people's feelings. It's not gonna always be good. People aren't always gonna agree with you, but you still have to say it because it's meaningful to you.
Of whatever. But I think for a lot of people who understand that, you
Yeah.
typically will understand
Sure.
the nuance of a joke.
Yeah.
It didn't come across that way in that particular special.
I think that's it, you guys. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I know I've read so many comments on here.
It did come across that way. It's just that like nobody wanted to understand it because, of course, they wouldn't. He's talking about them, like like the LGBTQ community. So of course they want to understand it. Why would they?
They're being like, everyone's so sensitive these days. A comedian can say whatever they want. It's comedy, you know. But there was something off about those comments, and it didn't feel very funny, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It felt like he was being very personal about.
It was honestly super funny to me, but also just amazing. Like, just like the pure art form was amazing. The way that he was able to tell his opinion while doing the jokes. Even like the opinion about his best friend passing away. Like I said, the opinion, the joke about his best friend passing away. And like, you know, the joke that he was going to tell her daughter or son, I forget which one. It was just hilarious to me. But also real. So come on, man.
His opinions.
Like, come on, let's not do this.
And he wanted it out there. And I think that's why people reacted so strongly.
Yeah, like comedy is always, we say this all the time.
Yeah.
And I stand by this too. Like, it's always been a place to test the limits.
Sure.
It's always going to be a place to kind of push and make people feel uncomfortable,
sure.
but find a laugh in a lot of.
All right. I think I've seen enough of the video. I'm not gonna lie to you. They aren't really saying anything to me. That's pretty much it, man. I respect Dave Chappelle. Me personally, I think he's the best comedian of all time. I don't know that many comedians though, to be fair. I need to watch more. But yeah. All right. Yay, Dottie. Like, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.